everyone, it's Carolyn. I'm here to share another channeled message. This time it is Celeste and me again. We are going to talk about what we see coming up for the rest of the year and further out. So you'll see how this gets going, but I hope you find it interesting and we'll see what happens as time goes on. But anyway, we wanted to give you our update as to what we are seeing and being given information on. And then you can take that as a part of your own journey for what you will. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Carolyn. I'm a channel. I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these channels, whether it be the Light Keepers, my own conversation, or Celeste and me doing a channel for your awakening and ascension journey. So I would love if you like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And also, if you're interested in getting additional content outside of the YouTube videos that I do, you can click below on the link that leads you to my email list. I offer a channeled message a week for your awakening and ascension journey, as well as occasional other content. So join me if you will. Okay, so we're just going to head straight on into the video. You'll see how this gets going, and then I'm going to join you real briefly afterwards like I normally do. So let's do a mid-year update. I don't know, see what we get, what's going on. We're almost, believe it or not, into June. It kind of seems like the right time to do that. And kind of see what we sense and get for the rest of the year. And maybe, I have a feeling they might even give us an idea of what's going into 2021?
Yeah, I know.
Want to do that? You want to see what happens?
Yeah. Let's see what comes through.
Okay. I just heard something. I don't know. This will maybe take us to a place. And this may seem obvious, but time of shift and change, time of great shift and change for each individual in all of humankind.
Ooh.
Now that might seem obvious, but when they say each individual, what does that look like energetically for everyone? What's actually going to happen? That's what I want to know. What's going to happen? Let's just
Yeah, let's ask them. What's going to happen?
Okay, I just heard words. Okay, we may find this hard to believe. Resurgence of creativity in ways that we don't understand today. Because people want to fix things. They don't want to go back to what used to be. And I don't think in many ways we're going to be able to go back to what used to be. Because it's clunky. There's a lot of clunky stuff out there. But there's okay, they just said grassroots level. Creativity happening right now that we won't see immediately because it takes time to actually create in the 3D. Are you getting
I'm totally seeing that, Carolyn. In fact, I am seeing that things are going to shift and change. It's going to be more of a subtle shift and change, kind of like, and we've talked about this before about the foundation, and all of a sudden water seeps in and it starts kind of eroding the foundation. And that's, people have the time now to create communities, these grassroots efforts. They have more time now to do that.
They're saying even in the chaos. So you could sit here and say, no, I'm just trying to get through my day. I have 3 children I'm homeschooling. I'm trying to figure out a job and trying to blah, blah, blah. But within that has come all this way of thinking differently and creation. And yes, right now, when we're in the midst of all of that, we may not see that this is creating something new. But as we get further down the road, we're going to see that it's creating something new. And there are people right now that are going to be able to take those things and say, this is what I want to continue with, either in my life. And creation doesn't mean you go create a new big company necessarily. I'm not talking
Right.
Maybe creating within your own life an entirely different way of living because of what has happened here. Whether it's complete trauma because you lost a loved one, or you were sick yourself, or you lost your job, or whatever it was. Did you go through this for nothing to just stay the same?
Exactly. And we've talked about this before, that this time is prime time to give people an opportunity to reflect on what they want going forward.
But that's key. But here's the thing. When we're in that frenzy, and which a lot of people are still and will be, we don't know what we want. We just are running through our motions of getting through.
In our daily life before the pandemic came, we were too distracted.
Right.
We had our routine. We did our routine. But now this has like shifted everybody off of their routines, and they have more time, and and not, it's going to be different for everybody. However, here's the key piece that I think that just came through, is that all of us is shifting and changing on an energetic level as well.
Yes, because as we talked in the past, we've had that collective timeline shift back. I don't remember when we did that video, but it was within that time. And within that rope that they show, we have all of our own timelines that we're adjusting and shifting into as the collective timeline changes. And we keep having that happen. I think I said the word microns the other day. They were like, you're shifting, and you know what, you can kind of feel when you're shifting. But the point is that awareness of, so what I'm getting is that right now, where we're at collectively, we're still in this chaotic stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
People aren't necessarily going to know what they want out of this fully. Do you know what I'm saying? Until you get out of the, okay, they just said till you get out of the rabbit hole. In other words, you're just trying to find your way through the dang path right now. And like, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? So within what's happening now, different ways of getting out of the rabbit hole are being created. So you're probably, when you're out of that rabbit hole, you're going to be able to say, oh, wow, that was a new path. I like that. I want to keep that. And so what does that mean for your journey forward? Do you see what I'm saying? Like right now.
Yes, I do.
And I think people are at all different stages of that. Some are probably sitting there writing down, like creating plans of like, what should the economic system look like? You know what I'm saying? Or how am I going to shift and change that at my level? Or, in my own family, in my own, or some are doing big grandiose creations that are potentially going to change big structures. But either way, it's changing a structure in your own little individual life, right? Or maybe something even more dramatic down the road. So what are you going to do with this time, right? What are you going to create out of it?
Yeah. Something came through earlier when you were talking about timelines, and I kind of want to touch on the thing, or on the idea that this past week, we've already talked about this on our own, how these huge energies came in this past week alone. And I don't know if other people have experienced it, but I know myself and some of my clients have experienced it, but I'm pretty sure that we jumped into a new timeline again this week. Because the energies have been so intense, and it's and it's shifted my perspective on some things as far as like what's coming for all of us.
So talk about that because I do want to set the stage for talking about what we see coming the rest of the year. So go ahead.
Yeah. So it feels like what I'm picking up is that the collective hasn't quite gotten the idea of what the purpose is. And I apologize because I'm still trying to formulate this. This has just come in the last couple of days, but I feel like with this pandemic, we've had all this opportunity, but it hasn't been long enough. And so my sense and the information that is out there, they're going to start loosening up the restrictions.
Well, yeah. It's happening now.
Right? And this is going to have, what I'm getting is that there's going to be a backlash.
Oh, we've got two sides of the coin, basically.
So I think with the whole pandemic, things are going to start boiling up again with the lessening of the restrictions. And then it's going to, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, it just feels like it's going to come boiling up again. And then we're going to have to go back into restrictions.
Okay, so here's what I'm getting around that. So I'm hearing the words factions. So what this is creating, if you remember early on, what they said was this all came as a like hot potato. Throw it in the ring, and what are humans going to do with it? You have an opportunity. What are you going to do with it? So it's basically how will we handle this? And you're starting to see this now. And we weren't so much in the early days because we were all like, oh, what is this thing? And then we all did our thing. And now we're coming supposedly out of this to start living again, but the factions they're talking about, and this is what this is our true test, I believe, because this is what I'm getting is, okay, so you have two corners of the fight as such. And once again, here we go. We've got, first you add in the conspiracy theory, you add in the whole idea of, well, we shouldn't have to do this anyway because of and in the US, your constitutional rights, blah, 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 all that. And then you have the whole idea of, well, but we have to still deal with the idea that there is this virus out there. How do you go back to living? I mean, that whole thing, right? But you have people on two extremes of this, right? And, do we meet somewhere in the middle? But what I'm getting is energetically, this is what they're talking about. That's what are you going to do with it? This is a true test of being able to come together at a grassroots level, because we have an opportunity, but are we just going to look to our leaders and say, well, just tell us what to do and to fix this? No, because it has to be at this level. We have to do the right thing at the ground level. Your next door neighbor and we have to do the right thing, whatever that means for that person. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
We're in this huge energetic potential right now, but so what they're showing me is that, they're showing, this is going to sound weird. This is just a representative of what they're trying to explain is this huge bonfire. What's the Bonfire of the Vanities? What's that? Is that a book?
Yes.
What was it about? Because
I can't remember.
Hold on, and I can take this out, or I have to look because they keep saying to me.
If I remember correctly, it's about the like human.
Whoa.
What?
The story is a drama about ambition, racism, social class politics, and greed.
There we go. That's it.
In the 1980s New York City, and center on three main characters. That's why they gave me that. Because here's the thing, we're in this is where the firestorms, if we're gonna do this together, it's gonna be grassroots. But what I get, so help me with this, because they're giving me this. It's not the top players that are gonna make it happen. We could screw this up so easily if we don't come together as common people, right?
But see, that's what this whole pandemic has done. Yeah. Because it's too easy for the common man out there to ignore what's happening on the higher levels, because it hasn't really impacted everybody, right? So it doesn't impact.
What doesn't impact?
Some of the things that are happening at the higher levels.
Okay.
A lot of people can just not watch the news and they just do their own thing and they can just not really focus on what's happening out there.
Right.
But this pandemic has brought it home to everybody. It impacts everybody, and everybody has to make some kind of shift and change.
Well, that's the thing okay. So what you're trying to explain to me is that, they just said, it's not the answers from above, meaning our top levels. It's not that.
Well, they've screwed us over for how long now? I mean, that's not where the answers are going to come from. It's all of us.
And so those who are, how do I want to say this? Oh, they just said wandering blindly. Okay. Waiting for the answer, waiting for all that. We need to take responsibility and look at this within ourselves and how we're going to shift and change because of this. Does this make sense? How we're going to treat each other with the things we want. And it's us. It's not sitting out there going, what are you going to, to our, you can say political leaders, whoever, right? What are you going to do for us? What are you going to do for us? And yes, there are structural changes that are going to happen in tandem with this. But this is about the collective coming into their own to understand how they want to live. Again, I go back to, I keep mentioning this, the Whoville people of the Grinch. Because they did. They were at the grassroots level. They kept going, right? And they found their commonality and what they wanted as a collective, essentially.
Right.
But right now, if you look, one great example is if you look online on social media and you start reading commentary about anything, even if it's like, I don't know, an Instagram post on with nurses, and whatever, having fun or doing something.
Mhm.
There's all
Mhm.
this criticism, like, well, they must have a lot of time. There's all this nasty stuff happening one way or the other. And
Mhm.
we are not right now, is what I'm very much getting, doing a very good job at coming back into what could be what could ultimately be a new place for all of us, but we're not doing a good job of that right now, is what I'm getting from them. No,
Well,
we're not at all.
so what I'm getting is that we've kind of lost the momentum.
Well, because now we're looking at, if you look at it, we're looking at how does this impact me, and I want my freedoms, kind of thing. And I mean, I understand that.
Right.
I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
it my way. I want it my way,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Well, people are tired
Yep.
of the restrictions and this pandemic. They want things to go back to the way that they were. And I feel like some shifts and changes are coming where it will feel like we're going back. The restrictions will be lifted. We're going to go back to how things were, and we're going to lose the momentum. And then I think we're going to be, slammed with more cases. It's going to bubble up again. The whole pandemic is going to bubble up again, and then we're going to lose our restrictions because that's the piece that, and I'm not explaining this very well, but that's the piece where people, they become complacent when everything goes exactly back to normal.
And there's something else here that I'm obviously not, gosh, I'm not interpreting from them very well, because I'm trying to explain this okay, they just said you had an opportunity. You still have the opportunity, where they're talking as a collective,
Yeah.
to be able to find our way together on this. And
Yeah.
okay, they just said and build anew. The problem is that we've got right now is now we may get there, which I don't doubt, but right now where we are is and they said that in the beginning, the factions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there are people just
Yeah.
beating each other down and fighting and blah, blah, blah. Not everyone, I realize, but there's a huge energy out there about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get back to normal. Well, what's normal? There's not going to be a lot of normal for
Mm-hmm.
some time. So we're going to still be adjusting. But that opportunity as we go into, okay, they're talking about summer now.
Mm-hmm.
You said the words downslide.
Yep.
Okay, but what does that mean, though? Okay.
I think that's what I was describing.
Okay. So it's not the downslide. Okay, they're showing like this.
Mm-hmm.
They're not showing the. So what's your timing on that then? Because.
So what I'm getting is that the restrictions are going to lift. People are going to assume that things are going back to normal. They aren't. They're going to start becoming more lax and taking care of themselves. They're going to assume that the pandemic is almost over. And they're going to make choices that will cause the pandemic to bubble back up to the surface. This is my sense that there will be more cases coming up. Like we're going to be hit by a second wave.
Oh, sure.
And that is going to, but in this, everybody wants to be free in the summer, right? I want to go camping. I want to go hiking. I want to go here. I want to travel. I want to do all these fun things in the summer. And they're going to think that's happening. And in fact, it's not a good idea to do those things yet. But people will.
Well, and I want to see what they give. They're trying to give me a curve. So what they're showing me, okay, is they're showing this downslide. I think this is the virus they're talking about. Okay, it's going like this. And now they're showing me the summer months. It's kind of like this, okay? It's kind of doing this kind of thing.
Yes.
They're showing me September through, they're kind of going into November. Things are going like this again. But the thing is, in between, we have an opportunity, and we can't change it that fast. We have an opportunity to start. Well, okay, bottom line, this is going to sound kind of scary, but we're in for chaos for quite a while.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Because forget whether the virus comes back. That doesn't, take that for a second. Let's say it doesn't come back. Or, it's here with us. We're living with this thing. This is not going away. It's not like some wand's going to be waved and it's going to just flat out go off the earth plane.
Right.
We're going to have to live with this. So let's assume that it starts, just kind of hanging out here, right? We still have all these structures. We have the economic structures and all of this. It's questioned everything, healthcare, everything.
Yes.
So it's almost like it came in, dropped its bomb, and shattered everything, and now we have to rebuild. Forget whether it's still here, okay? Right?
Right.
We have now structural systems we have got to rebuild. And how are we going to do that now? In some ways, it's kind of less about the virus, because we're going to have, ultimately, there's going to be some kind of herd immunity that's going to happen partially too, until we get a vaccine. We can talk all day long about that. And we're going to have to live with this. But how are we going to learn from what we are seeing right now, to the point we were talking about earlier about people creating out of this and shifting and changing the way we live as a world? That doesn't happen overnight in 3D. And I'm sorry, we're in 3D. We're still create in 3D. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're hanging out at 5D, back and forth. But the things that show up that we create, you know what I'm saying, is a 3D object, a thing out of it, or a structure, or a process.
Right.
And that's not happening overnight.
No, that's not going to happen overnight.
Okay, so here's what they're showing me. I want to see if you get this. So now I'm moving into next year. So,
so
what I'm showing about this year is, remember when they said this is the lost year? Okay, because everybody's in chaos about what to do, is what they're saying to me now. But 2021, what I'm getting is this is going to, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is going to be the year of how we actually start to take a breath, be able to see, okay, here's where we are, be able to then start identifying what needs to be rebuilt. And there are going to be people that will be doing that. Now, forget in your own individual life, because we're going to do that anyway, right? We'll be
right.
Some people will decide, I'm not going back to that job, or by the way, I'm going to be working from home a lot. That changes my life completely, or I'm going to do something different, or whatever. They're going through their awakening. But the larger structural systems will also be questioned and changed as well. Starting the start of it. It's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you get that? Are you getting any of that?
I feel like this year is the lost year for sure. And we've talked about that, but it's also a year of reflection, a year of planning.
And catalyst.
And I'm sorry?
And a catalyst year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a catalyst
lost year in the human world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the planning is happening in our thoughts, in our minds, right? So people are looking at their lives and they're saying, they're considering, what do I want to be different? What do I want my life to really look like?
And they're energetically putting that out there. Think about that.
Exactly.
Because in some ways they're living that already, but they haven't realized that this might be their new normal that they really want. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, exactly.
Not only are they doing some of these things in action because they were forced into this, or they found a new way of working, they're also manifesting it, in essence, energetically, because they're like, I kind of want this way, or I want something different. Or they start seeing a different path forward. You know what I mean?
Right. And so next year, and I keep getting in the middle of the year, so a year from now, I feel like people will, all the inner work that they're doing this year is going to start manifesting a year from now in 2021.
Okay. They just showed me the butterfly. You know how they always go to the butterfly stages, caterpillar?
Yep.
They're showing, when you talked about that, they showed the cocoon. Like right now, we're in this cocoon, which, you said before, the caterpillar turns into a bunch of mush before it turns into the butterfly.
Yeah.
That's where we are now. God, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I was struggling to explain that, because everybody's going every which way. And I'm talking about as a collective, right?
Yes.
One every which way, but ultimately we're going to have a unifying way forward. We're going to have to in our big structures, right? We're going to have to.
Right.
That's exactly it. The butterfly, this is the this is the cocoon year.
Yeah.
Oh, That makes sense because we've had to be in a cocoon. Oh my Lord.
Literally and figuratively. Yeah, everyone's cocooning themselves.
And you know,
All the work is inner. All the work is inner when you're in the
it's just like
cocoon.
cocoon of the, oh my Lord. Oh my gosh. And the thing is, this isn't going to be like one day that stage ends and the next we see everything. This is all flowing into each other because some people are still going to be in that cocooning, but ultimately as a collective, we'd be able to measure it. We'd actually be able to measure it. And so to that point, and so what they're saying to me is they said until the butterfly flies and is in full form will be a number of years. But it's that creation process of in the cocoon, like right now we're just mush, we don't even know what we are, forming. So over those next years we're forming in the cocoon into this butterfly that will emerge. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So
you're saying yes. Oh my gosh.
So I'm seeing something manifesting, like the initial stages manifesting a year from now in 2021.
Yes.
Now, granted, not everyone's on the same timeline, so some people will manifest sooner than some people later, but for the collective, things are going to be very different next year. And I'm also getting that this has to do with all of the structures in place now that are slowly crumbling. That we
like our healthcare system, that has to be
healthcare, insurance,
everything. How we work,
the financial institutions, all of that. It's
our inequities, all of our inequities. How do we serve those that are in need the most? I mean, that's actually probably a video because I know we could channel a ton of information on what those are going to look like because I know they kind of been poking me on that. So maybe we'll do a video on that.
That's
what it's going to look like. But
I think that would be a great idea.
Oh my gosh, this makes so much sense though. And so here's what. Okay, they just said a slog. So this is a slog of a year. Like we're slogging through this. This is, I'm not getting at all that anything's really going to change this year. We're just going to be living like this to one degree or another. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And if anybody's thinking they're going to move back into new normal, they probably ought to take a breath and, think again. Because it's going to be finding a middle ground with all this is what they're saying. They're using the word middle ground, right? Like we're out a little bit, but we're really not.
Yeah.
And then things are going to start to come into, they said, okay, they're showing me a picture of a window, like a more clear picture. Creation of the way forward is what they're saying. Fits and starts.
Yeah. I still see that something in September, October, November is like we're going to get slammed again.
Oh, totally. I have
during that time frame. I think we've talked about that in a previous video, but I'm seeing that even more now, and it's going to bring up the inequities and the core issues at the heart of all these different institutions. It's going to bring that up even more because things are kind of settling in and loosening up over the summer. And people are going to kind of go back to being complacent, and that's going to happen. And then people are going to be like, nope, we're done.
Okay, they just said, can't ignore the ramifications.
Yep.
And they said, okay, it said it came to teach humankind a lesson. Are you learning is what they're saying. Now, we may not understand that. Like, we're not supposed to go off and go sit and do it in a think tank and figure out what that means. It's going to happen with us each individually. But the thing is, this virus did not show up by accident. It is here to kick us all into a different gear. But yes, exactly. Have we, it's kind of like, hello, are you figuring it out? Ramifications.
Yeah.
It's not like it came in, we can go, oh, that was nice, and turn a blind eye and then keep going down the same road.
Right.
The whole house clearing effort, a shift and change of the way we're going to live moving forward. There's no doubt about that. But it's not going to happen overnight.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm curious. I'm just going to throw this out.
Okay.
Since you got us to summer of 2021, let's just go further. What do we see? Let's see if they give us anything. Like, what do we see?
Okay.
I'm gonna zone in here on the calendar because they usually give me calendars. So
Okay.
they just said traumatic event that will
Ooh.
wake up the world at the highest levels of existence.
What does that mean? Next year?
You said you'll see the players change.
Oh my
End of next
gosh.
year is what I'm getting. Okay, wait.
Yes, next year.
End of next year is what I'm getting. Something's up.
Whoa.
Oh, they just said it over and over again. Something's up, something's up. Okay, do you remember when they said that to me when we talked in January or whatever? Remember we were doing the 2020 channel?
Oh, yeah.
They kept saying to me, something's up, something's up. I said, something's up, something's up. They're saying it again. For the end of 2021. I think it impacts the collective, but it's not. The ramifications impact the collective.
Keep going.
Okay, so something's up for the end of 2021. Okay, they just said rock your world.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not. Here's what I'm getting. It's not. How do I want to say this? Well, everything personally impacts you, but it's not like this virus thing. We still got the whole virus thing, but these are the ramifications after this, right? What I'm getting is they're saying worldwide stage. I think they said that. So there's something happening on the worldwide stage that will, okay, they're saying have a market impact. They're apparently coming in quite strongly right now.
Yeah.
So what now do we see? We're past, okay, that's the end of the year. What are they showing us for? Do you want to move to 2022 or do you want to finish with anything you're getting into 2021? Wow, I can't believe we're doing this.
Wow.
2022.
Oh, by then everything's going to be changing. No, all the changes are going to be incredibly obvious. Right now, everything in this year is like in the planning stages, and then 2021 is going to be, it's going to be subtle changes here and there, the grassroots effort, all of that. I think that, so right now we're in the planning stage in this lost year, and then in 2021, the grassroots efforts are going to be more obvious as well.
And just then inching forward.
Yes, yep. And then after this traumatic world event happens that impacts everybody, it's going to amp it's going to be the catalyst. That's it. It's going to be the catalyst to moving everybody and everything forward into a new world.
But I guess I'm also getting there's going to be some chaos affected. Yes. Excuse me. Some chaos coming with that event. It's not, okay, I'm going to tell you what it's not. What I'm not getting, it's not the ETs showing up. It's also not, now we'll still have Earth events. I'm not getting Earth events. This is about people or a person or people. There's something happening at a higher level that's going to shift and change everything, okay? And then that period of chaos will come from whatever that thing is. Are you getting a splintering? Okay, hang on. After that event, I'm getting they're showing like shards. A lot, like, what is that? And I'm getting it in 2022.
Groups. I'm seeing people. Groups of people are splitting up, and factions.
Okay, factions is the name of the game for all this, what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But they said, but you have to come back together. Oh, you know what it also is? This is part of the separation. Oh my God. Not just at the, oh, I have chills. Oh my God, I have chills. Not even at this, you know.
I do too, actually.
Never individual level separations that are going on in our lives, right? Through our awakening. Because we do. We separate from family and friends. This is the collective separation, and we're going energetically different ways. This is a lot of what people talk about with respect that I'm getting to the new earth thing. Like I've always said, well, there's not a new earth coming. And I've been told, you know, we're not just going to jump off literally on a new planet. This is the collective separation, which will cause that energetically to create, they're saying the new, that's the more the 5D thing. Like we're going to notice a energetic shift in 2022. Are you getting any of that?
No, I can see that. Absolutely. Yep. Wow, this is fascinating.
Divide and conquer. Like, Okay, I'm really getting, oh, wow, totally different ways of living.
Mm-hmm.
Factions, to your point. Like people are going to know how they want to live and they're going to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Okay, you know what I just got? The people, the common people are going to be more powerful than ever before.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to rise up and they're going to say enough. That's what I'm seeing with this catalyst.
Oh, I
Is
just heard
people
the
are
words
going to say
revolt.
it's enough.
I heard the words revolt.
Yes. Yep. That's what I'm seeing.
Just said in pockets of the world,
Mm-hmm.
it will grow into a worldwide. They just said celebration, but this is when they're
Mm-hmm.
talking celebration. This is they just said catalytic event.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
I am seeing
worldwide.
people put aside their prejudices and they are going to band together.
Yes, worldwide. And I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
that manifests, but I'm
Yeah,
very
I
much
don't
seeing
know.
it. This is a
But it'll be interesting to see what happens. For sure.
2022 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
starting of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've gone far enough.
Yeah. No, I think,
Honestly, I think we could keep going. I really do. I don't think we want to at this point.
yeah, no. But that, I think that right there is huge.
So do I. Okay, we'll have to come back to this video at some point and see if any of this actually came.
Manifests? Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally see it.
Okay, there you go. So, like I say, take what works for you, throw the rest away, take it all, whatever parts make sense for you. And like I said at the end, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next year or two and to come back to this video at some point, which I most certainly will do. But anyway, thank you again for being here today. I so appreciate you. And as a reminder, right now, Celeste and I, through May 31st of this year, are offering a discounted rate for our soul journey channeling. We offer approximately 15 minutes of information on your soul journey. And like we've always said, by working with both of us, you end up getting books in the volumes of your life instead of maybe chapters that you would get with one of us. So try us out. I think you will love it. You'll get an audio recording, and it's also based off of a number of questions that you may have. So you get to participate in that way as well. But we also bring through information that is meant for you that you might not even ask about. This includes past lives, all the kinds of things in your soul journey that help assist you through your awakening ascension journey today. So we hope you will join us through May 31st. We're offering this discounted session. Check out purplerainhealing.com to understand this service better and then to contact me. And remember, I also have other services on purplerainhealing.com: channeling, distance energy healing, and spiritual awakening mentoring, where I work with you individually on your awakening journey to help you forward. So thank you so much again for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.